everyone. Instagram Live was having none of it, so I am instead going to be live on YouTube and I will share this video later. So the topic of today is why we need to warm up, because fun activities like roller skating, we don't actually want to have a warm up. It's too easy not to warm up. But if I'm skating outside, it is actually important to do, and like any physical activity, a warm up supports the muscles in your body. It's going to make sure that you're not overstretched when you're maybe making sudden movements, and actually it's that mental preparation time as well, making sure that you are ready for physical activity. There is a lot of mindfulness in roller skating, which is brilliant, but you do have to have some warming up. So if I am skating outside, inside I would say the warm-up is more straightforward. Outside, especially if you're somewhere in public, you might just feel don't really want to do a warm-up on skates. So you don't need to do a warm-up on skates. You can do your warm-up off skates if you so choose, and I'm going to show you a bit of both. So I'm just walking through Leeds City Centre and I'm heading to somewhere that hopefully is fairly quiet, that I can do my little warm-up and show you what I would normally do. And then I'm going to have a little skate back. Hey, Jamie made it over on YouTube, and YouTube is working just fine. Okay, so I'm just heading out over at the bridge in Leeds, and what I'm doing is, this is part of my warm-up, believe it or not. It is a brisk walk, and the reason it is a brisk walk and not a brisk skate, just going to put my notifications on silent, there we go, is because the floor looks like this. Right, so flagstones, not a skate friendly floor. Like next to me, this is a cycle path, which is better, but there is still, like, there are patches of it that are not good. I'm less familiar with the tools on YouTube. I don't go live on YouTube anywhere near as much as Instagram, but I can see there's a flippy round camera thing, so later on I will flip it round and I will show you like my skate terrain on the way back. Okay, so walking just to loosen up your muscles, get everything rolling, get everything moving. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like I'm a bit stiff in hips or your knees or something like that, and it is important to get everything loosened up, because you need to get the sort of full extension and contraction of each muscle. Otherwise, if you shorten the range of the movement, then eventually you could cause yourself some damage. It would take a very long time, but let's look after our bodies so that we can skate for as long as possible. That's my personal view, and that includes doing a bit of a warm-up. If you can include a cool down at the end, even better. So, bit of aerobic activity to kind of actually get your body warm, get the blood pumping through, and then, okay, I'm nearly here. Once you've got your brisk walk done, you're at your place. So it's taken me, what, 3 minutes? Oh no, 4 minutes 41. That's exactly how long we've been live for on here, to get to a space that I feel offers enough privacy. Yeah, this will do just fine. So I'm in a little park, an urban park in the middle of Leeds, and we'll go with this fence over here, and I can put my stuff down here. So obviously when you're outside, security is a bit of an issue, or personal security, especially if you're roller skating or you're by yourself. And I'm quite often on my own, just because I am, and like I actually quite like my own company, and I spend a lot of time chatting with other people, which I also really love, but it means that I need to take a lot of time on my own to sort of recharge my energy levels. So on my own, I've got a bench here, I've got a fence behind me, and there's nobody kind of around behind me in this whole area. It is relatively secluded, but it's also daylight, so I don't feel that I'm anything desperate's about to happen. I feel perfectly fine. There are obviously loads of people in windows. They might be watching me thinking like, what is that woman doing? To be honest, I don't care. So if you are concerned that someone is going to be watching you and like having a bit of a giggle at your expense, possibly an outdoor warm-up for outdoor skating is something that you might want to do just before you leave your home, depending where you live. I'm not really that fussed, I have to say now, so you know, it is what it is. Okay, I think I did bring my trusty roll of tape. Please tell me I did bring my trusty roll of tape. So in my bag I have got my water bottle, very important to stay hydrated. I've got my knee pads, my little knee pads, and I did not bring my roll of tape, and I've got my skates. Oh, so typical. The one thing that I actually need I didn't bring. Okay, so I'm going to prop you up here on my water bottle because that's what we need to do. Okay, so for my warm-up, so I've got my trainers on at the moment, and I've been walking around, but of me, warm up all of me, I'd either go feet to head or head to feet. Doesn't particularly matter, but if you do it sequentially, you know you're not going to miss out part of your body, whereas if you kind of start like by bending your knees or something like that, then potentially you're going to miss a bit out. So I'm going to go top to bottom, and if I was rolling about, I could also do this on roller skates and do this indoors on roller skates, and then you can just roll around in a circle. But I'm going to start by loosening up my shoulders and my arms just by basically swimming. So arm circles forward, and honestly I don't care what I look like. I am doing like from crawl, because if you're on roller skates, I find it easier to do opposite arms instead of both together. I find that this tips you off balance a little bit more. Obviously I'm on my feet, so it doesn't matter. If you find you are here and you're on skates or kind of flapping, you're aiming for a straight arm if you can. You're trying to elongate that and move your whole shoulder. If you're a bit like, I'm in public, you can always put your hands on your shoulder and just move just your elbow, if that makes sense. But I think you're going to get better movement by doing that order. For double points, just you can rotate your wrists as you're going round. It does feel a bit like dancing, but that's okay. I would usually do my warm-up to music, whatever music works for you. I find 2 to 3 songs, so kind of a bit less than 10 minutes should be enough for most people. So I would also take backwards, so you're going to do a few rotations forwards. We're not rushing the movements here, they're quite deliberate. You're like very much controlling the speed, so you're not just like swinging your arm, okay, like really control and try and lengthen your arm as much as you can. For bonus points, start at the top, one forward, one back. If you're really thinking, I can't do that, start one at a time. Build up to it. You can totally do this on skates as well. Okay, so then I'm going to just relax my body and do my head and neck, and slowly just forward, back, then side to side, ear to shoulder, but I'm moving shoulder down rather than lifting my shoulder up. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my chest. I don't like to do full head rolls because it tends to really, if you're on the skates, it's really unbalancing, so I will tend to just do side to side head and then forwards and back head. Okay, the other plane, so I'm going to also look over my shoulder, because actually looking, certainly on our skates, very important. We need to always look where we're going, whether it's forward or back. Okay, so then I'm going to put my arms out to the side and I'm going to twist. So at the moment I've got my feet side by side and I'm going to twist. Again, this is slow and controlled. I'm not flinging my body, but the movement is coming from shoulders and also core. So core is nice and tight, and I'm pushing one arm forward, pushing the other arm back. If you're on skates, or actually even if you're on your feet, when I twist, I'm going to look at the fingers behind. Twist, look at the fingers behind. One way, you've got the weight of it. Yeah. So if your arms get tired, just do a few of those. Okay. So hip things are quite challenging on skates, which is why I am holding off skates. So again, the hips side to side, just loosen them up. I feel like Patricia doing kind of apart, she's having a lovely time is what she's doing. And then I'm also going to do some knee bends, so we aim for 10, I would say. Again, if you're on skates, you can do this, but try rolling, because that momentum will keep you more balanced. So if I'm off skates, I'm going to aim to touch my ankles and then go above my head. So this is a little bit of an aerobic warm-up, really, but I'm going for 10. My heels are off the floor because my skates have got heels and I'm not that flexible. But I am aiming to keep my chest upright rather than, so I'm going to just try and maintain a good posture. So instead of reaching forward to get to my ankles, I'm going to reach back side, so that my weight is fully stacked. Let's call it 10. If you find that you don't have that range of flexibility or movement yet, or you're on skates and it's making you a little bit anxious, just aim for below the knee and to the shoulder, so that you're going here. But what we're doing is reminding our bodies that this knee bend position is like the safety position, so down is a good place to be. Okay, I'm going to finish the legs with some ankle rolls, and I'm going to go out, in. This is definitely easier off skates. Ankle rolls in skates is really quite challenging. Again, want to do rolling. Standing still, doing an ankle roll is really hard unless you're maybe holding onto something or carpet or grass that's going to grip you. So you can also point the ankle just to stretch out the leg. Flex. And then I will play some favourites. So then we're going to do a few knee raises, and again, if I was on skates, I'd have probably my arms out for balance, which is still not a bad thing, and I'm lifting the knee, I'm not bringing the chest down, so I'm not doing this. It's not like a crunch, keeping my chest and shoulders back and lifting the knee. So this is all the mobility in your legs, those are your legs that are going to do a lot of the work. Do this on skates. If you are new to doing these movements on skates, they will probably look like this. I will put my skates on and repeat some of this. And then hands behind your backside, and you can kick your ankles up behind you. So yes, hands are there for protection. If you feel like you need extra stretch, you can move more legs and back foot and put it back, but I would say that's more of a cool down stretch. And then the last thing I would encourage you to try and certainly improve on, and it's what we used to do a lot in roller stretch, so your knee is going to go up, out to the side, and then back down. And I find if you have the opposite arm forward, it will actually assist you with balance. So go up, to the side, down, up, to the side, down. If you're rolling, you'll probably find you have a slight forward lean on this. And that's fine, that's enough. There are probably a lot more stretches you could do, but I have now kind of prepared my body. It feels loose, which is nice and kind of easy and ready to go. So I am now going to put my skates on, and then I will repeat some of this. I don't know what has happened there. Okay. Press something on the live, but I don't know what. So, shoes off. Okay, so outside is a very different skate experience always to inside. And despite whatever you may think or know or whatever, I don't like taking risks actually. Like, I want to protect my body. I have taken plenty of risks, but now I don't want to, and I want to skate within my comfort zone really most of the time, because I'm quite happy doing that. It just happens that I have more experience than a lot of people, and it means that I'm able to do things that some people with less experience might think, oh, that's so super risky, why is Mel doing that, she's a terrible role model or whatever. So I actually spend quite a lot of time walking around. I check out spaces way in advance of actually skating it, and I will be assessing the ground as a skater. Right, like for example here, I'm looking around at this block paving. So I can see this is all newly laid. This is all nice, it's all newly laid. That bit's fine. It turns to kind of a gravelly surface over there. There's a very slight incline here, so I would expect that there'd be some speed there. Jamie, did I do a wiggle? I don't actually know. So I can see there's parts of the ground here that would be fine, but if I was trying to kind of skate around in like a loop here or just up and down, this part is definitely flatter. This part I'm going to pick up some speed. Okay, the other part that I need to make sure that I do outdoors especially is obviously check your gear. So make sure that the wheels all roll, that nothing's loose, and like check it every time. It's just so not fun. Yeah, toe stop's tight. I noticed I had a very slightly loose toe stop the last time I had my boots on, and it was a bit of a concern because I was like, oh, need to remember not to use that toe stop or rely on it quite as much, and you can't put your weight on it. So I prefer to have at least one toe stop if I'm outside. I prefer to have no toe stops if I'm inside. And switching between no toe stops and toe stops is something that I am very comfortable with because I've done it for a long time. But yeah, so my toe stops are also very, very short. They're screwed right in and they don't match. But yeah, that's just whatever I had at home. So again, just check the nuts. Fine, all the wheels are spinning. Fine, toe stop's tight. Fine, okay. Just pop this boot on. And then it is worth spending a little bit of time making sure that your laces are comfortable and adjusted in a way they're not going to fall out, because otherwise regularly happens is I end up skating over the lace and it sort of chops itself, which is less than ideal. Anyway, there we go. So I also usually like double knot my skate laces, and I've done that today. It's just I can't be bothered to unfasten them. So I'm gonna, let's see, you back here. What's that woman doing? Should have remembered that I'm going backwards outside, and that's not necessarily a smart thing. Okay, so again, if I was doing some of these outside, I'm going to start with my arm circles. This is going to be hard for you to see in this position. Let's put you over here. So maybe I've got a bit more. Right. Hopefully the microphone works. This is a super quick version, FYI. Normally I would spend more time with this, but I've done it. So, twist, look. Look, always chest high. Okay, if we're doing our head and neck, I would make sure that I'm doing it forwards. Little doggos, it's cute, it's cool. Especially if you're practicing skating backwards, it's like the bit of you here and here, which is like achy later, because you'll be kind of in this twisted position, getting your shoulders in the correct position to skate backwards, and it's quite achy. So then we did our like ankle touches. Forwards, if you skate, you put your hands forwards, capture your toe stop or something like that. You don't want to end up skating with your fingers. That is not fun to do. Please do not do that. Okay, and then we did our little ankle circles. This is quite easier if you push. They're not going to be the most perfect ankle circles. The mic is in the phone. Okay, no worries. I will try and stay a little bit closer. So always, if you're doing something on one foot, do it when you're rolling, as opposed to what I'm doing now, which is standing still. So let's do the knee raises, and then we'll do the hamstring curls. So knee raises. So make sure you have like a bit of a bend in the middle, because you're transferring the weight from one leg to the other. Shoulders and chest up, and then pick up. Ooh, tiny stone. And then so feet together, little bounce, and then you can push off onto the other side. And the final thing is our favourite, the dynamic stretch hip opener. So it's up, out, down. Okay, if you have never done this before, then I would suggest you practice off skates before you do it on skates, or your on skate version will very likely look like this. Just, it's not going to be a practiced movement until you're comfortable with the movement. It's definitely, you need to engage the core and try and focus on keeping your chest and shoulders up, because if you can be in this position, it does make so many skate movements far easier. Although I'm going to say it depends on what kind of roller skating you intend to do. If you're doing roller derby, then this position is not good for you, or speed skating, you want to be very much here. But for recreational or leisure skaters, or if you're just working on some kind of artistic skills and moves, or you want to just be turning and moving smoothly and fluidly, then something with your chest and shoulders upright is going to really support all of those movements. So the dynamic stretch is up, out, down. I'm going to maybe do it going across. And when I put my foot down, I'm going to land, so bend both of my feet. Someone is having a lovely time with a whistle. I don't know who it is. They're probably blowing it now. Up, out, down. Okay, so once you feel that you're warmed up, if you have the space to do so, you would then just relax the body from all of the holding the muscle groups together by just doing a couple of quicker laps. So I am fortunate here, I have got room and I feel like it's okay to leave my bag. I don't actually have any valuables in my bag. I'm holding my phone, I think I'll bring my purse. So I'm just going to skate around, minding the tiny stones, and just have a little check-in with yourself. How do you feel? Do you feel okay? Stay hydrated, so make sure you drink some water. Yes, I've got my water. And then, cheers, we are ready to go. So, I'm going to have a tiny skate around town. Very tiny one. And I'm just going to show you where I might go. I'm going to turn the phone around so that you can see where I'm going and possibly a bit of my thought process as I'm heading there. Okay, see you on the other side. So, heading out of here. And again, I'm not going to go that way, I'm going to go this way. Because I have more experience on skates, I feel completely fine to have just my knee pads on. I don't have wrist guards on, I don't have a helmet on. So, you know, you do you. And now I'm in the cycle lane, I feel fine about that. People walking in the cycle lane, they'll move. I think it might have been time for an office to have kicked out. No doubt people will be like, what on earth is going on here? Either that or it's the best promo ever. So now, this is quite nice. Smooth. Just have a little roll here. Okay. Just chilling. Just stepped out of the cycle lane because I know what's coming up. A bit of a triple whammy of like spaces to cross. So I'm going over here, over the dots, then over there. Just looked over my shoulder, stepping back into the cycle lane. Those little like red bits are actually quite rough. This cycle pathway is way smoother than the pavement, as you can see. Pavement's shit. Sorry. I did put that this is not a child-friendly video on decide on my luminous wheels. I never used to. I used to find them a bit too firm, but now I feel like for me, I've skated this path loads of times. I know my way around here. I feel perfectly fine doing it. Okay. Right. So I can see coming up there's bumpy things. I'm going to take the middle. And again, stagger. And again, stagger. Stagger. Weight slightly in the heel. This is better than that. Although I want to go around the left side, go around that. And then I'm going to go down possibly the worst path. It leads, it's grim, but it's a shortcut, so here we go. There's like a little cut through here that takes me back in to the tech lane. Oh my god, it's so busy today. Skate this path, it's missing. Okay, we're fine now. Then I think it's probably good for anything. So I think it's clearly an unfinished path. One day it will be not there, it will be part of the Aero Park and it will be perfectly fine. Let me just turn you back around. So that is how I would warm up outside, but also inside. Inside I might spend a little bit longer. Like I said, probably have some music on. Thank you for joining me today, and now I'm ready. I might just have a bit of a skate round, but I can't skate with you here. Sorry. Just going to have a little pause here because there's a group of people up ahead and they're obviously confused at why I'm talking to myself. So thanks for joining. I hope this is helpful, at least for you, Jamie. Thanks so much, babes. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.